Good day, everybody. Ghost chatting over here. I am looking at the Nasdaq at the moment, and I'm looking to get a potential trade over here. I missed the sell down, so I want to look at possibly buying up. And I'm going to look at what has happened in the market so far. Hopefully, it's going to set up, and you guys get to have a nice treat as to what's actually going on here and how it actually works. But let me talk you through what has happened, right? I don't want to go through everything, but of course, if you guys watch the stream on the weekly outlook, we've hit our target over there. We've hit this target over there. So all targets hit at the moment. There's a possible draw to this high, but we'd have to see what it does at this particular level. Okay. Now, I'm assuming, I didn't even look at the news. I'm assuming that there's been some kind of a news event out that pushed price up and down like this strongly, right? Now, what you can do in such cases, when you get a news event, let me zoom in here and let me show you. When price produces one large candle like that, that candle itself becomes your range. So you're basically using that as your internal and external, that trading range, right? Now, ideally, you'd need three more time frames to go down to so that you can see all of the various levels. But I'm just going to do it with that 1 hour and a 1 minute, right? So we came under that 1 hour, which is also 15-minute low, and we then broke down below a 5 minute low again. And now we are kind of sitting around here. I don't know when we're gonna turn up, but what I am expecting is that price is gonna make a high, then go up, break it, go up again, and on the second one or even the first one, depending on where we are at, I will get a chance to execute for a buy. But until it breaks significantly and displaces beyond a particular level, I can't get in. I'm going to pause the video. Once we get more information, I will get in. I'll bring you on when I'm about to enter as well. Hope you guys find this valuable. If, of course, it just keeps going down, there'll be nothing to actually show. However, before we even get it, before I pause, you see this over here, that stacked highs is a bunch of liquidity. A bunch of people put their stop losses above those highs as they sold down. So if they're on the right side of the market, they are smiling at the moment. Hopefully, they're taking some profits. But mostly, what they're doing is trailing it along. And the market makers don't like that, right? They don't like that. They want to make sure that you get taken out of your position. So they don't want to see you make all that money down there. So, what's going to happen next now is it's going to fake down, more people jump in. So that's engineering more liquidity. More people are jumping in to go down, down, down. And then what price is going to do is come above one of these levels, such as this, and start to strongly reject off the lows and go and target these highs. Now, we're not going to take it all that distance. We likely just going to trade whatever at the time becomes this particular range, as it's still falling down now, but whatever becomes the range, we will then take up to the 50%, take some contracts off there, or take some profit off there rather. And then once it goes higher than that, we'll leave a runner on to see how far it actually goes overall. But this is where we are at now. I am looking to see 1 minute structure breaks with some momentum, and then we'll look to enter off of a return back to that level with the intention to go higher and higher and higher from that point onwards. We have liquidity taken on a higher time frame, and we have liquidity generation on this 1 minute, and we've cleared the bottom of that 1 hour candle, but we left the high intact, which means we're likely going to draw up. All you need is a reason to go up, right? You need a reason to go up. And what we have here is we've fallen strongly down, right? And so you could say, wow, like, why would you not just keep selling? But we've also come into discount, or we're getting close to discount of that range, right? As well as there was another one I saw earlier on. No, it might have been on another pair. We're coming into this kind of weather range, so we could drop some more, and we could drop some more, but likely once we get the initial turn on the 1 minute, we'll start to see that upward momentum, right? So we're just waiting for that. We're waiting for that, and then we're going to see how far we can get with that actual trade. This is the preliminary first TP, but that will move and shift based on where premium and discount is At the moment, we can bring it down to somewhere here, and we'll take that trade when we get there. Thank you, everybody. I shall see you soon when something sets up. Okay, we're back. It's starting to seem like we are putting in some structure over here, looking to take out this particular level over here. Right, if we can get that, that's going to be great. However, I'll draw your attention to um, us moving beyond that particular gap over there, which is already telling us that price is now wanting to respect the upside. It's not a double gap per se, but it's telling us an indication of where price wants to respect. Then we've got this last candle to the downside. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take a buy over here. Right, I'll take a buy over there as we went through that level. Put my SR over here. So you're getting to see this live, by the way. Check the timestamp here at the bottom. You can see this is live price action. Okay. Then where's our TPs? We're going to go all over to the other side, but we'll take off some as we go along. Right. So we'll go till there. And overall, currently, we're risking 2000 US to go ahead and make 5,000, right? 950. Of course, we'll scale out as we go on. That's the initial risk that is set on. Okay, so we got this breaker structure over here on the 1 minute, and that's what we got in. Then we've got this last candle to the downside over there. We've also got this gap over here. So those are all protective elements against us getting stopped out on that actual trade. All right. These are things that are going to hold price from just falling down and taking us out. Okay. So not much movement yet. This is just the beginning of it. We're going to see how this plays out. I do think, I know I got a lot of lines on here because some of it's based on the weekly outlook that I put out for our students. I do think that we could trade at least to this level over here. Right, that's why I got my first TP. In other words, I'll partial over there. We'll take quite a bit off, and then we'll adjust our stop as well. That will be that first level. And then aside from that, what else can we see? I will do a standard deviation. Now, don't do this if you don't understand how you're supposed to do that. Right? It's specific points. It's not random points, and it's specific points to actually draw it on. This will be our second TP. Second TP. Right? That's if we get that far. And we'll put this at, let's just put that size a little bigger so that you can see it. And that will be second TP. Again, one a little smaller. Okay, so we have to come to terms with some of the pullbacks in here as well. We have to be okay with it, right? Price could literally come back down here to all of this and then start going up again. We only got in case price shoots up from that particular point, but these are the levels that we are protected at. Once again, let me just adjust the stop slightly, not have it right on the end over there, as I sometimes do. Okay, we'll come back in a few minutes, and see how far this is on the way up or what it's doing at that particular point. I'll take off all these other extra stuff and we'll kind of watch it from there. Let me actually take off this line as well, this weekly line that I have on, because it's just creating some confusion there. Okay, it's disappeared now. Is it this one? No. I don't know where that is. You know what? Let's leave it as these. Let's go back to price action. And let's have a look at this. Okay, so this is what you're seeing. And we're going to come back in a couple of minutes and see how far we are in relation to that. Okay. Okay, and we back. It felt like I was watching paint dry. This took forever to get there, but we are now on to the races, as they say. So let's see what has happened. Price has gone up, and these levels that I said that will protect price, I've extended this gap a bit further. It has protected price from going lower, right? So now, since we've reacted off of this particular level, I can go ahead and move my stop over there. Now that is equal lows, which I don't like. However, if it does come back all the way till there, then this is a bad trade to begin with. I'm very close to the first TP. I always tell people don't, try and be too greedy. Just take it when you're close. So we got close there. I'm going to take half of the position off, and then we'll let the rest of it run. Okay. So we go partial close, and I'm going to close 25 units, and we can go ahead and partially close that. Wow, it came back while I was closing. That sometimes happens. And so while I'm trying to record, normally I would exit on an impulse like that. I'll partial close right there as we get an impulse. But of course, I'm recording as well. I still feel pretty confident that we will go to that TP1. So that's okay. I'm not going to close more there. What I will do is once we hit that TP1, though, I will come and bring this up to that level. Reason being that we would now have reached that midpoint of that range, which means we can come back all the way. So we've gone ahead and closed off of that position. I think we have banked, what is this, $780 on that one. In terms of just proving this is a live trade, live trading. Now, what's important is that we're not allowed to speak about actual live charts and money. So that's a rule. So just assume whenever you're listening to us that we are talking about a demo trade, but this is an actual live trade. Live trade in terms of you're watching live price action. Look at the timestamp below. Of course, this is New York time, and showing you that we're reading the markets live, right? So let me bring my stop back here, as it's not time to move that stop just yet. That was just the explanation of how we're going to get there overall. Right now, if price comes back and tags me out overall at the stop, then I'd still be, down on this particular trade for the day, but not by much, right? Not by much in relation to my original trade. However, I don't think that's going to happen. I think we are going to come and play around some more here. Price seems to be choppy and a bit slow. Then we'll play around a bit some more, and then we're going to target these levels over here. However, as I said before, once we hit that, I will bring I could actually go to break even, and so it'd be a no risk trade, but I'm going to give it a little bit of room below that low to breathe. I do think we can still come back into, let me check the 5 minute real quick, and then I'll get a better view of where we are at. So we came in, we're now trying to move out. Yeah, this is not the best price action. We could still come all the way down, sweep all these lows, and then go back up again, which I don't like. This is when you have such a extended range like that, you get this type of price action. But yeah, let's trade it to the 50% of this range. And then from there, we'll go to break even. So we'll see how that goes. I'll be back shortly. You just see what else there is on other time frames. No, 4 minute, 3 minute, 2 minute. Whenever price action is not very clear, then what you can do is go ahead and just cycle through your time frames until you get a clearer view of what's going on. Like on here, on the 2 minute, we broke up above that high, hit that level, then broke up again, came back down into this consolidation of a range, broke up again. We did leave a gap, but we tapped it already once before. This is not strong price action at the moment. We need to see impulsive moves to the upside. So clarity is showing me that this is not yet ready to go, right? So I'm going to leave it, my stop here at the bottom. Should move it just slightly below that low. I'm going to leave my stop at the bottom. We're going to allow it, because remember, this is what we got in on, right? So we're going to allow it to come and possibly sweep these lows. And sometimes you got to give your trade that much room to breathe. Now, most people would trail the stop here, right? You'll trail your stop and you'll trail your stop there. But what is that? What is that anchor to, right? What level is that anchor to? Because if I go up to the 1 minute, sorry, if I am on the 1 minute, if I go up to like a 5 minute or whatever, that's anchored to nothing. It's really anchored to nothing because that range doesn't even have a gap in it. The only one that has some form of anchor is this one. Why? Because it produced a gap, traded back into that gap on the lower time frame. But even then, what has it done? It's left behind equal lows, right? Equal lows over here. So if you're an equal low, so that can be swept, and then price can still come and go up. So this is why you give your trade room to breathe. You don't chase it. You don't try and force it into something. Give it some room to breathe, and you'll see what's going to happen. Okay. Again, we still trying to go all the way there. I'll take some more off for the second half off here, second TP. And if by some chance we end up going over there, I'll take all the rest off at that point. Okay, I'd like to see us at least go to second TP. That will be awesome for this trade recap. See you guys soon once we have some more stuff. I don't want you to watch paint drying. And we're back, and that's looking way better, as you can see. I will say this though, I do not like all of this liquidity being built up here, which is clearly for later, but that's also a very strong target for prices just pull back and to come and take it. So I'm gonna go ahead and take some more off on account of that. I was hoping we'd sweep this, then go up, but we left more liquidity, which means it's gonna come back down again and try and take us out. So what I'll do now is I'm gonna go ahead and close another 15 units over there. And then instead of, so we just closed quite a bit there. Instead of closing the rest here, I'm gonna hold the rest for TP while bringing this portion up to break even, right? Or just above break even. That way, if we now come and take ourselves out at break even, we cover the actual cost of commissions. However, we're leaving ourselves more room now to run to the actual overall TP over there. Again, this is a no risk trade now at the moment. We cannot lose. So we'll see how far we can get on that. At the moment, let me see how much we've banked. At the moment, so far, we've banked 622 20, or rather, sorry, that's the open float P&L running there. The orders, we are, what is this? Okay, let me check. I'm used to using the other platform, and my mouse is stuck in as well. So, okay, that's the cancel orders. Account is 3, journal. Okay, so we banked $630 and then another 895 on the second portion as well. So we're up over $1,000 over there, and we're gonna let that one run to the TP overall and see what actually happens. Okay. As I said, I have now moved it to break even because there's too much liquidity sitting at the bottom here. I just don't like this. That means that it's a reason to pull back strongly and possibly then go back down. Now, why did I do it here? Because we've gone above the 50%, right? It's not like we first grabbed this and then went above the 50%. No, we instead went above the 50% without grabbing that. This can be a downside target now. So we want to be cautious about that and rather instead move our stop to break even. And instead of taking something off here, now I might still, if we stagnate here, because this is a standard deviation, if we stagnate here, I might take another 5 units off. Otherwise, I'll just hold it until the overall TP over there. So see you guys later. We'll come back and see how far this trade has moved. Then we'll talk a little bit at the end as well. Real quick, just an update again. As you can see, we are now sitting quite close to hitting that break even level, which is okay. This is what happens whenever you see this liquidity building up like at stacked lows and things. That means there's no momentum left in the market to actually go up. Now, could it come down below this lows over here and then sweep and go up again? Yes, it can. However, we don't want to be sitting in that type of drawdown, especially since price is now, let me show you this. Price is now holding caps on the top side, and that's a bad indication for the downside, right? It's holding that gap over there, and you can see that's exactly where price turned around. It's kind of like hit that point and then turn around from that. Then also on the 5 minute on the way down, we are also currently seeing price hold this gap over here. So those two things together, holding there, tells us there's more downside possibly in play. And so we want to get out of that trade as well. Now, I hope you guys appreciated this trade recap and also the trade management. I will turn on the execution so you can see exactly where I executed and where I closed partials on that trade. Um, let's do this. I think it goes here. And is this? Yeah, executions. Right? So as you can see, what did we do? We got in over here. We took our first partial over there. We took another partial over there, right? And now we're currently in the market just holding the last position. I assume that it's going to go down and take us out there. So your last arrow will be over there. But as you can see, that was entry, right? That was the first exit, second exit. We were holding for an overall of going there. Just not sure if that's going to happen. Now, if that does happen, I will come back and add it into the recording post. But for now, this is where we're going to stop and call it a day. But I hope you guys have been blessed by that and you understand that this is how you manage a trade, right? And giving it room to breathe, yes, and also partialing along the way to your take profits. Management of a trade is just as important as entering a trade. Now, what is more important than entry is direction. Always try and get your direction right. If you want to learn more about this, obviously look out for all our posts, all our streams, everything we do. We're going to be giving more value in the near future. We'll come back and we'll have a look at that again and see how price played out, right? Thank you, everybody. You guys are blessed on purpose. And there you go, as anticipated. There you go, as anticipated, as expected as well. Price has come back to that level and tagged us out over there. So all in all, we've now made, let me calculate that all, $32. You know what? Let's bring up a calculator and do it with me. And we can see so what that is. So that is $32. Still allows a company the calculator on stream. $32 plus 895.50 plus what was the last one? 630. Total profit 1,557. $1,557 made in that trade. Of course, we were going for an overall 5,000, but you take what you can get, 1,557. And that's the thing, that's the nature of trading. You can't just expect that it's gonna go to your TP. You have to see what the market is doing. You have to actively manage it. And to actively manage a trade, you need to be have less emotion and know what is going on. So for instance, did you notice the difference between when we were here pulling down? I said, you know what, it's fine. We can sweep below those lows and still go up because that's liquidity for that injection. However, when we came up and we stagnated over there, I said, this is a problem because we've gone too high now. We above that 50% of the range. And so we could actually come back and then continue down all the way through. So it's very mechanical, very intentional, and this is exactly how we understand what the market is doing. This trend line liquidity is being taken now. I honestly think we're going to go below this low now, right? Because of the way price action is producing, it's kind of giving us that shape as well. But we don't know. It could also just go up from here. Now, while I have you here, let's quickly look over some of the things I posted in the weekly outlook this week. Okay. And so this was NAS. We're still on the same chart. NAS 100. And have a look at this. We were over here. Excuse me, not there. We were over here when I posted it. I said there's a potential of coming down into this gap. Otherwise, we'll just rise up from this level to hit that TP and possibly draw up to that one. But that's a massive move, right? We traded from here up through that last up close candle and into, and I'll show you as well here on the higher time frame, the up close candle, right? That's the last up close candle. And now we're still waiting to see whether or not we'll get up to that weekly gap. But now there's a lot of downside gap risk, especially tomorrow once this daily closes. So it depends on how this daily closes. If we close strongly within this candle, we'd likely go year first or year before going back up again. However, as you can see, all targets reached. And it's a similar story with everything else that I put out as well. Because if you look at Euro USD, let me show you from a higher time frame perspective as well.
Okay.
Look at Euro USD. These were my targets. TP1, boom, right? TP2 was the week midpoint. Boom, we've got that as well. That was put out to you on Sunday. Then what else did we have? We had GBP USD, and we were here. I'll show you where we were. We were over here, and have a look at this. I said, well, this has been going on for 2 weeks already. I said, we'll come up from here, go into that level, then climb up again. Said we might get a daily gap over here, which we did, but we actually produced a runaway gap. And if you look at it, my target from the top, from the bottom up, has been on point. We've hit that. So that's done. Then we had XAU USD, and we had it going through these levels. And as you can see, TP number one, TP number two, TP number three all hit. We've got an extended target of 2250, but that's, as I said, that's not guaranteed because it's an extended target. This is all time highs, so we don't know if it's going to reach that as yet. And then we had GBP JPY, right? This one's been a bit more slow, more stagnant, hasn't done really anything. It's gone up to the first level. Let me show you from the daily, sorry. It's gone up to the first level, which was from here to there, then from there to here. And now we need to see if it's going to come up from here till there. But as you can see, it followed the progression up to where I thought it would go, down to where I thought it would go. Now we need to see whether or not it gives us the criteria on the 1 hour over here, which it has not yet given, as it has not yet broken any high in this leg. So we can come down, sweep again, and then do it. But as you can see, it's followed the up movement, the down movement. Now we just have to see whether or not it will follow that movement. What else did we have? Was there anything else? USD JPY. Let's have a look at that one. Look at that, right? Climb above that high. All come from here, I said. We climbed above that high over here. And now we stay stepping down. This is probably an easy trade setup for the rest of the week, actually. Stay stepping down this way down. And that's it. That was all for the requested pairs of the week. I hope you guys have found some value in that. If you are one of our students, you got that exclusively on Sunday, and they gave you all those pairs from the get go and telling you where they're going to actually go. And as you can see, they've all played out. It's been Coach Chadwin's Kingdom Day Traders. Hope you guys are blessed on purpose and you're finding value in the stuff that we are putting out. Please make sure that you connect with us, you get in contact with us, join the community. We got some awesome things coming up in the near future. When I say near future, as early as Thursday, right? This coming Thursday, got some awesome things coming up, and I hope you can be part of it as well. You guys be blessed. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.